3 lands in play, and an Elspeth and a Jace in his hand. His opponent drew an extra card and was given a game loss, and Bernie was able to take the match. So we're about to see 2 very strong players face off here in the quarterfinals of the Star City Games Legacy Open here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah. I'm Joey Pasco here with Jacob Van Lunen.
Yeah, and looking at these 2 players' sideboards, Justin Uppal, again, he's playing Rug Tempo, and in his sideboard he does have the Counterbalance package, so he's going to bring in a couple extra Sensei Tops and 3 copies of Counterbalance, along with some Red Elemental Blasts. On the other side of things, Bernie Wen has a few tricks of his own. He's going to be siding in 2 Path to Exile. Justin's deck has no basic lands. Oh, no, never mind. He does have a basic island. However, I believe Bernie will still be siding in the Path to Exiles. It makes sense.
Yeah.
He'll probably be siding in the Parish for sure. That's a very effective way to deal with Nimble Mongoose. Diabolic Edict, another effective way to deal with that.
I like the 1 Dark Blast to deal with the Delvers, because before they flip. You know what I mean? It's just reusable removal against Delvers. Before they flip, they're very vulnerable to something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, Dark Blast is also an excellent card against Elves. To be honest, I'd much rather have my opponent cast a Chalice for 1 against me when I'm playing Elves than I would have them have a Dark Blast in their hand.
Yeah.
A Chalice for 1, you can take your time and maneuver around it. However, a Dark Blast is very hard to do that. They can just be playing very aggressively to, take it out of your hand.
All right. Looks like we're starting with a counterspell on the table.
All right, and that's a counterspell.
Can you figure out what's going on here? I don't think counterspell works when it doesn't have a target on the stack. So something strange is going on here.
I think when Justin was shuffling Bernie's deck, a counterspell flipped up, and I mean, normally you might get a warning, and your opponent might be a little frustrated that you got to see a card in their deck. However, Justin's just gotten to look at Bernie's deck list before sideboarding. I don't think it's really an issue. They're just gonna have to shuffle it up, and no big deal here.
Right.
Let's see if we can get a judge to head over there.
Yeah.
All right, and here comes the judge.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, like you said, he's seen the deck list. It shouldn't matter.
All right, and no big deal that he just continues shuffling up. All right, now...
he's got a warning for looking at extra cards.
Okay. And that's a little bit of an odd warning. They just looked at each other's deck lists. Flip one up during shuffling.
He flipped a counterspell, drawing his opening 7. So that was in his own deck then.
Oh, okay.
Was this Bernie or was this Justin?
Also, I mean,
Bernie did, okay. Because I don't even remember Justin
having dexterity error. That doesn't seem like the Miser's counterspell.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, so that's Bernie getting the warning there. For some reason, looking at Justin,
for sure that Bernie did not side out the counterspell, which actually Justin's probably pretty surprised about that.
All right, well, we're off, and we've got a Polluted Delta to a turn 1 Delver off a tropical island for Justin.
Yeah, and I mean that's the perfect play he wants in this type of matchup.
Now,
do you think he's going to flip at the first turn?
Justin's a master. I think he does.
Yeah, if he flips this right now, I'm going to guess that he wins this whole tournament. Because when you run hot,
let's see. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, he managed to get his opponent a warning. I'm just kidding. Well, all right. Bernie may have an answer in the form of something like a Dark Blast for the Delver of Secrets there. Not so sure, but he is cracking his fetch land here, and I believe that's the end of Justin's turn.
All right. and he cracks that fetch land. Plays a Tundra. Let's see if he has a Stoneforge missing. Oh no, it's a Dark Confidant, and that's really powerful. Justin's hoping that he can find access to a burn spell here, because if you get a few things flipping off that Confidant, it can be a world of hurt.
Yeah. All right, so do we flip the Delver? He did not flip the Delver.
Did not flip the
Delver.
Delver.
That doesn't mean it's lights out for Justin.
He's not going to win, but
you just had to
I can no longer say with 100% certainty that Justin's going to win.
All right, so he adds a Wasteland to the board and a second Delver. Wastelands away the Tundra.
Yeah,
Bernie
and
is,
I like that play very much. Doing another Spell Snare for
Spell
Bernie.
Snare off the top for Bernie.
Now Justin, now fully aware that he has to be playing around that Spell Snare. All right, now Wasteland on Bernie's Tundra. Looks to be causing a little bit of problems. Bernie at 17 already after revealing that. Sacrificing a fetch land dealt him 1. He was dealt another 1 damage by the Delver Secret's attack, and then dealt 1 by the Spell
Snare off the top. All right, Wasteland for Bernie, and no attacks. Not gonna trade that Bob for a Delver.
No, he certainly does not want to do that.
That for a Jeff, if you will.
No Bob for Jeff.
No. And we have a Chain Lightning from Justin.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wants to see here. He needs a card to deal with that Dark Confidant. Bernie already drew an extra card off the Dark Confidant, though, so it puts Justin in a little bit of an awkward spot.
All right, and we have a third land for Bernie.
Bernie hits his third land drop, and that's going to allow him to search for another copy of Tundra here.
Passes back. No need to get the Tundra just yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you pass back, you can, make sure that you get, you can protect your Tundra from Wasteland, at least until you need to use the blue mana for something. Or the white mana, rather. Justin
cast Karma directly into the graveyard, yeah.
And I mean, I think that's generally what you do in that spot. And your opponent has the Spell Snare. And
so,
I mean, I think that just means he has multiple 2-drops in hand.
Yeah. So I was talking to one of Justin's friends earlier, and I was told that Justin's father plays Magic. And so Justin's been around the game since he was a kid. He's been playing since he was 7, and he's 14 now. So he's just 14 years old, been playing for 7 years. And I can't imagine if Justin continues playing and plays like at this level.
Oh, he's 14.
He's 14. That's what his friend said.
Really?
Yeah, he said he's been playing since he was 7, and he's 14 now. So,
man.
Can you imagine where Justin will be? Just a few years from now if he keeps playing. He's already playing very, very well.
Yeah, I mean that's extremely impressive.
All right, so there's the Tundra. Fetched off of the Polluted Delta.
And Bernie still very much in this game. The Esper Blade deck that Bernie's playing is very similar to the blue-white Blade decks we've seen around. He's just got a few black cards. Including 2 copies of Dark Confidant, like we saw before. I think Bernie may have switched to new sleeves because they seem to be very slippery, causing him some problems.
Riptide Lab for Bernie.
Yeah. Again, Riptide Lab, my favorite Magic card of all time ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew you liked it. I didn't realize it was your favorite ever. You say that about a lot of cards, don't you?
No, I mean, what other card have I ever said that about?
I don't know.
Besides Riptide Lab. The Riptide Laboratory.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Delvers still not flipping. Very stubborn Delvers for Justin in this game.
Yeah, Justin here wisely letting the first Delver trigger resolve, looking, not finding the correct card, and then before the second Delver trigger resolves, he uses a fetch land so that hopefully he can hit the Delver trigger with the other one.
Yeah, that's really, really tight play.
Yeah, good stuff. And he hits it.
That time he hits it.
Yeah. And it's a Spell Pierce, which is pretty nice.
Spell Pierce, yeah. So Spell Pierce.
Yeah, so one of his Delvers flips. A little odd that, he has one flip Delver and one not flipped in that type of situation.
Yeah, but I mean, it's actually better than it would have been had he not cracked that fetch. So now apparently before he draws his card,
yeah,
Bernie is flashing in Vendilion Click. Very, very good play there by Bernie too, because if he does put something on the bottom, he already knows what Justin's going to draw.
Yes.
And we see, what is it, Goif, Goif, Goif? Oh no, Goif, Goif, Snapcaster. Okay. What do you got in the graveyard? Another Goif. And
yeah,
a couple cards to flashback, Chain Lightning, I think, and I think that's it. I don't know the.
Yeah, I mean, here Justin can simply Snapcaster. Well, I mean, Bernie's technically the Snapcaster, obviously, but Justin's just going to swing with both of his guys and cast the Tarmogoyf with Spell Pierce back up.
All right, so.
Justin didn't draw for his turn yet, right?
That's.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Confirming.
He has not yet drawn for his turn. Now he's drawing for his turn.
Okay. I just want to make sure that that didn't get lost in the shuffle.
And Delver and Aberration.
No. Bernie drops to 11 here. The Insectile Aberration trades with Vendilion Click.
And Justin plays Tarmogoyf number 2 for the game.
Yeah, Tarmogoyf a 4/5 now. With the potential to get larger in a game like this, where Bernie is casting artifacts.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful for the Tarmogoyfs.
And Planeswalkers.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, Justin, no Planeswalkers in his list. All right.
All right, and let's see what Bernie can figure out here. How many cards does Bernie have in his hand?
I don't know. He hasn't really played all that much.
Yeah, and I mean, he did draw the extra card off Dark Confidant. Huge help.
Yeah, look at he's got about 3 or 4. So, a Diabolic Edict. And Justin considers sacrificing the Tarmogoyf, it looked like, for a second, but he goes with Delver.
Yeah.
That probably is the right call.
I think that's fine. I mean, it's pretty clear that Bernie does not have a Stoneforge in hand. That would be the only reason to sacrifice the Tarmogoyf there.
So, Goyf into the red zone. Crash. Bernie's life total down to, what, about 6 or 7? 7, okay. So, Sensei's Divining Top for Justin.
And,
Bernie.
I'm surprised he didn't cast another Tarmogoyf there.
Yeah, me too. Maybe just trying not to overextend here. Figures the first Goyf can get it done all by himself, but it is going to...
He also knows his opponent is Perish post-board, so he's probably playing around that.
Yeah, it could be it.
Well done, playing around Perish. Just because something's a one-off post-board doesn't mean you're supposed to never play around it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in solid control of the game and they have a sideboard card that's a one-off that beats you, and otherwise you don't really lose to them, it is certainly worth it to, just play the way that prevents you from dying to that one card.
Right.
Because you're going to win anyway.
All right, there's the Swords to Plowshares for that Tarmogoyf, and we have Spell Pierce from Justin.
Yes, we do.
Gonna force Bernie to tap some more mana here. We did see a activation of Sensei's Divining Top, or Divining Top if you prefer.
Alright,
Yeah,
now,
Bernie clearly wants to do something different with his mana there. Otherwise, he'd probably just snap tap it, you know? Alright, I'll pay. Apparently now he's setting up to be him to Toroct.
yeah, I mean, he can't be too happy here.
No, I mean, he must have had some other plans for that mana, and the funny thing, he may also be kicking himself for not playing around the Spell Pierce that he knew was there. Or he just didn't think Justin would cast it in that situation when he had 3 open mana. So that just got countered. He didn't even pay, so whatever he's got as a follow-up here, hope it's something pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like these games to be close.
I mean, he knows that Justin has a second Tarmogoyf.
But that's all he knows about.
Right, exactly. But I mean, so you know, what is worth playing here? All right. Oh, okay.
That's pretty strong.
So Snapcaster. Okay. So he plays Snapcaster. Swords to Plowshares.
Snapcaster Mage is, in my opinion, the best card in the format right now. Sans Brainstorm.
Now, Justin able to resolve that second Tarmogoyf, whereas if Bernie had... Bernie, obviously, I think what his plan was, swords the Tarmogoyf, and then Snapcaster Spell Snare the second Tarmogoyf. But did not play around the Spell Pierce that he knew was there. I'm guessing. That's just, you know, that's just kind of what it looks like.
Well, I mean, he could just pay for the Spell Pierce. So, and there's the Perish.
Oh, there's Perish, okay.
So, very good job by Justin not playing into that Perish.
All right, so Bernie's digging back in. Snapcaster into the red zone. Taking a little chunk out. Justin's life total. Justin now ponders. And
he has Ponder. Let's see if he can set this up exactly how he wants to.
He probably knew, I believe, you know, knew what some of those cards were because of the top. So, yeah. I kind of expected him to shuffle there.
Yeah, I mean, those were...
No reason to ponder if you already know what's coming and set yourself up to draw what you want anyway. He did give it a little bit of thought. Also, I think he looked one card deeper, too.
Alright. Let's see, does he draw some action? It does not look like it.
Yes.
Oh, but he's sacrificing a fetch land, so he must have something.
Volcanic Island.
And I think Justin may have a bolt in hand. If he has double bolt, then...
And there's bolt.
Oh, he decides to go ahead and just bolt that Snapcaster
Must not have been
Mage.
double bolt.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just bolt Bernie in that spot. Bernie's at 6. If I bolt him, then, you know, any bolt or Snapcaster is pretty much a lethal draw, or lethal if you resolve it, so...
Yeah. I like that,
And you still
I
have
think that line
10
of play a little
turns
better.
of being attacked before you actually die. And you also have a top in play, which makes it much more likely that you're going to, you know, draw a chain or a bolt or a Snapcaster in the near future.
So here comes an activation from the top.
Alright. After a quick top activation.
Another Volcanic Island.
And Justin continues to play lands. And this game's at a bit of parity, but Justin has a Sensei top in play. Both players have the same number of lands in play.
Justin,
and I think Bernie may have 1 extra card in hand, maybe 2.
Yeah, Justin up quite a bit more life total in his life total. You know.
Who knows? Bernie has 4 cards in hand, so I'd say Bernie's a pretty huge favorite to win this, even though he's at a significant life disadvantage here.
And a Brainstorm's not going to help much for Justin.
No, not at all. And, I mean, Justin may need to start going for Bernie's Dome. And Justin activates his Sensei tab again. Let's see what he finds. Yeah, now Justin's gonna have
nothing.
some
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Passes back. Bernie draws. And we have a lovely sound happening in the background here. Sorry about that. Not something we can control either.
Yep. We cannot control this. This is currently a giant
Door opening.
thing opening.
All right, cool. It just
All right,
stopped.
stopped.
All right, so it's just been some land go action going back and forth here, and 3 cards I think in Bernie's hand.
And
Justin,
they're pretty much at parity at this point.
thinking a little bit. There is a shuffle effect there. Yeah, Bernie's actually using it right now. Interesting. Kind of feel like, you know, if I were Bernie, I would have wanted it earlier right after I brainstormed, but at this point he's drawn a couple cards, so it's not as if this gets him a fresh 3. I think he may have drawn the cards off the brainstorm that he knew were there already. At least one of. So maybe
Yeah,
wait.
I mean, but in this type of spot, I mean, he does get a fresh 3. It seems pretty clear that Jason doesn't really have much. And
I don't know. I think personally I save my fetches as, you know,
I do too.
for as long as I can, and when they're really going to give me a fresh 3 or I really need the mana. I mean, maybe Bernie wanted it. I mean, I'm sure he has his logic. Maybe he just wanted to get a land out of his deck.
Now, did Bernie have access to that Riptide Lab when Justin used the Lightning Bolt on the Snapcaster? Because if so, that's a very good reason to bolt the Snapcaster Mage. I did not see the...
yeah, that's a good point.
I
actually
pointed
forgot
out the Riptide Lab earlier, but just forgot about it because it was in the pile of lands right there.
Exactly, same here. So
there's a lot of commotion going on around us also. So.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup at the event site, and so Bernie does have another fetch land there, so he's in good shape.
Yeah, another fetch land for Bernie to go with any brainstorms that he might draw, and a Guru land. Bernie's deck worth a pretty penny here. Those are Guru basics, lots of foil fetch lands, lots of dual lands. He has foil Stone Forges and Batterskull and Snapcasters. Like, that deck's worth some money.
Yeah. There's a Snapcaster from Bernie.
A Snapcaster Mage. And this is going to be pretty huge.
All right, what's he
He's
going to get potentially?
And I mean, Bernie can sacrifice at least one more fetch land before it starts to get a little bit dangerous. Alright, now the Snapcaster Mage is responded to with a Snapcaster Mage.
Was that a Bolt U?
That was a Bolt U.
And alright, so Snapcaster resolved and Brainstorm is being flashed back by Bernie, so Bernie in a little bit of trouble if Justin's able to remove that Snapcaster. And he doesn't have an answer for Justin's Snapcaster. So
yeah, I mean, Justin now has a 2-power guy on the board, which is a pretty dangerous thing.
Well, it's lethal right now if you have no answer. Now the cool thing is Bernie has the Riptide Lab, as we mentioned, and he's aware he has the Riptide Lab, it looks like, from the way he's set his lands out. Could very well...
That Riptide Lab can just run away with the game here.
Yeah.
But Justin playing pretty well here. You know, preventing his opponent from...
cracking one of his fetch lands here.
Yep.
After brainstorming, very nice. Gonna get some fresh cards on top.
Yeah, I mean, how crazy would it be if Bernie sacrificed his other fetch land, his promo foil Polluted Delta?
Yeah.
Because he would just lose. He's at 1 now. Alright, Bernie searching near his deck, trying to find the perfect answer here. And he grabs another tiny rook. I like it. Alright. Let's see. Justin really wishes he had a sudden shock at this point.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, we've mentioned that a couple times here. You wonder, where's the sudden shocks in Legacy?
Where are the sudden shocks? Why not just one? You always just want one.
Yeah, it would be nice to just have one sudden shock.
One is all you need.
Surprise! I think a lot of people would be suddenly shocked to get sudden shocked.
Yes. People are always shocked by sudden shock.
Yeah, it is shocking. It would be shocking to see.
An Inquisition of Kozilek from Bernie. And Justin's going to respond with a Brainstorm. All right. Justin drawing 3 cards. And he can hide 2 of them with the Brainstorm. Now, there are a lot of people who I've watched play today who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who don't know how to brainstorm. And this kid's 14, and he's doing it just fine. Take notes, guys.
Bernie Wen at a precarious 1 life against a Rug Tempo list that has some burn spells.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of burn spells in the deck. And Justin has been playing tight all weekend, besides 1 error when he first sat down.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the first time under the camera.
He was a little
14.
nervous. Yeah.
Come on, like...
But I'm honestly very impressed with Justin's play all weekend.
Now that he's 14, I'm definitely rooting for him.
Yeah.
In all matches ever for the rest of his life. He'll be 42. I'll be like, you remember when he was 14? I promised I would always root for him.
But yeah, Bernie is...
Yes, that's my voice when I'm 54.
Bernie's not going to go down without a fight here. And
yeah, I mean, Bernie actually has this game in very firm control. He has a Riptide Lab and a Snapcaster in play. It may seem weird because he's at 1. It may seem dangerous, but...
I've seen a number of players win the game at 1 life this weekend.
Justin being one of them.
Yeah, Mary Jacobson was another one yesterday during the standard portion.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts though, because she just didn't block with her 3/3s when her opponent
She was
attacked
trying to
with 3/3s.
make it dramatic. She's on camera, obviously.
She should have been at 5. All right, Bernie searching his library for a Batterskull. And if he's able to get that down onto the table, Justin's going to be in some trouble here. Justin going for the win this turn.
Eric at EvilBeard on Twitter lets us know that Justin's already won a Legacy tournament for a Mox Ruby.
Woo!
Nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Kids are so good at Magic.
Yeah, I know. And then they
Bolt targeting you.
All right. Do you have the mental misstep? If so, I still win.
No. He can just Snapcaster.
So we've got Brainstorm here. Trying to resolve.
Counterspell? Bernie Wen in his graveyard?
Didn't quite see his graveyard.
Who did that?
What counterspell? I mean, Spell Snare doesn't hit it. I haven't seen any Force of Wills.
Well, I thought he just had a hard counterspell on his
just
opening
an actual
hand,
counterspell?
He revealed it?
Was that... Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... I don't know, was that in his opening hand, or was that just accident? I think it was extra cards. I think it was an extra counterspell, off the top. It was the 8th card, so he probably just shuffled. Yeah, and it's only 1 in his deck.
Oh, somebody's calling me out on saying Riptide Lab is my favorite card of all time. Is it Boilerworks?
Oh, there you go. That's Bryce.
All right. He got me. Is it Boilerworks is like a good friend,
Okay, so then what's Riptide Lab? There it is, Bernie Wen.
And
can't find an answer to Lightning Bolt, and Justin
going on to the semifinals here.
Takes the match and goes to the semifinals.
Yeah, such masterful mastery coming from a 14-year-old here.
Have not seen him lose a game.
Haven't seen him lose a game. This seat, his lucky seat.
Yeah,